These ones smell a little different. Because the other ones still like smell. Like whatever they smell, dead stock. I guess these smell kind of the same, but like maybe it's the paper. I don't know what it is. They got that Band-Aid smell, man. It's strong. It's heavy. As soon as I get to the gym, I pull out my pair and it's a whoosh.
There's worse things you could smell at the gym.
Yes, I know. This fool's got a... I won't say it. I won't say it. That's rude. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on a brand new colorway that hasn't actually hit the Way of Wade site yet, but it is on the latest Way of Wade signature shoe, the WOW 12. This would be the Team No Sleep colorway traditionally. I don't know if that's what they're still calling it, but this also seems to be a slightly altered version of the WOW 12, and it's got a lot of D-Lo branding on it for D'Angelo Russell, which points towards this being like his version or PE of the shoe, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Now, I grabbed my pair from VJ Sneaker. VJ Sneaker, for those of you guys that are unaware, is an old school reputable Chinese brand footwear site that recently relaunched. So I was really happy to see them back in the space because the players that are in the game right now kind of take a fucking long time to ship. And on top of that, they're very expensive. A lot of the times they will overmark or overprice all of their items because they're the only places to get them. VJ Sneaker's a little bit different. They price their stuff as low as they possibly can. It depends on how much they're actually paying to get them sourced. But a lot of times they're getting these items directly from the manufacturer or from the brand. So they have actual contracts with these places. They're not resellers of Chinese shoes. They are kind of like an arm off of the retail space. So it's really interesting. There is free shipping on every order, by the way, so that's always a plus. These, I will say, were very expensive. It's the only pair on their site. They don't have the two launch colorways. So if you wanted to grab this shoe and experience its awesomeness on the basketball court, I would just go to wayofwade.com. But if you specifically want this colorway and you did not want to wait, click the link down below in our description box. It'll head you over to VJ Sneaker where you can check them out. Now, as far as these are concerned, these guys right here are just simply one of my favorite basketball shoes of the year so far. Actually, we're almost in the end of the year. That's crazy. What place will the WOW 12 make on my list? Like, will it actually be my favorite shoe? Because I'm still contemplating. Can there be two best?
Tune in and see.
I suppose it's my list. I can do whatever the f I want.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Now, these guys right here are a little bit different than the previous pair that I played in. They don't have a translucent sole on there. However, they are still stated to be using the GCU compound. So GCU for the Li-Ning and Wade brand means ground control unit. That's their basically their ultimate traction setup for them. And much like Under Armour's Flow technology, GCU isn't exactly rubber at all, which is really interesting because it really feels like rubber, but it does not derive from rubber itself. It's actually a polyurethane compound that they've turned into a rubber sole, which is super dope. And it just works really well on the floors that I've happened to play on. So whether it's dusty or not, which they usually are, even when dust starts to really cake up on these things, I just wipe it off and I'm pretty much good to go again for another few games. Like, it's something that I have to do so far and few between. It's such a good shoe, dude. I love these. One of the good things about this particular version of the outsole, though, is that if you did want to take these outdoors, this would probably be one of the versions that I would do it in. So this versus that pearlescent colorway, I'd probably keep the pearls indoors only, whereas these, I wouldn't mind hooping in these outdoors. These are fucking dope. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm going to keep these as my indoor bad boys because that's what they are. Now, moving on up, the midsole is Super Boom. It's full length and it's fucking awesome. Like, this right here has the perfect balance or blend of court feel and cushion. This is exactly what I feel like makes like one of the best basketball shoes of the year. So if we're going to be talking about like what, in my opinion, is one of the most cushioned basketball shoes, like if we're talking about like best cushion, would I put this on the list? I would, yes. But would I say it's the most cushioned shoe of the year? Probably not. I'd probably actually give that to the Air Jordan 40. But the Air Jordan 40 has so much fucking cushion that I was like, bro, I don't even like playing in these. There's too much. It's too mushy. Makes me feel slow. Makes me feel like I'm playing in sand, which some people might like, but I don't. I actually like to move around the floor and stuff, so I actually move quite a bit. And this is a shoe that I could do that in. The front of the shoe kind of houses the Super Boom in there, so it doesn't expand too much, which gives you ultimate court feel in the toe area. Whereas from the midfoot back, it is exposed, not fully, because it is kind of like covered or caged on a lot of the lateral side, but that medial side's fully open, man. So like, it really does allow it to do its thing. And they just feel great. It's a super lightweight shoe with a super lightweight and slightly springy ride, and I just could love it. Now, the upper on these is a little bit different than the pair that I already played in. So that pearl pair was fully synthetic along the upper, and these are too, so it's not like completely different, but they've done a couple of things that are slightly different. One of which is on the toe area, where they've actually like kind of like hollowed out that like middle section. It's really interesting. I don't know how else to describe it. I actually really like this. I think that this is better than the pearl pair that I've played in already. Not only is this going to give you more breathability, but it gives you more flexibility too. Like it'll contain around the foot the way that it's supposed to, but it's open right there in the middle, so that flex zone, kind of like a Jordan 1. But yeah, it's covered up in like a light textile, so this just gives a different look to it, a different kind of vibe, without losing any of that performance punch. The toes on these, I actually didn't say this in the performance review, but they're semi-independent, so they are attached, but right here at the lace, or the base of the lace, they go underneath, so kind of like the Harden Volume 1 and the, what was it, the Air Jordan 2010, the LeBron Zoom Soldier 3s, all fantastic shoes. And one of the reasons why I love those shoes so much is because of this style of setup, where it almost allows the forefoot and the midfoot and heel area to act as independent features of the shoe. Like if you haven't tried something like this, I highly recommend. The rest of the shoe is also synthetics, but it's not the plasticky kind of synthetics that are along the forefoot area. So while this stuff isn't my favorite, the back area, it's still not my favorite, but we've got a lightweight material covered in a screen mesh, so it's nice, lightweight, flexible, doesn't require a lot of break-in time, and it just works. So in terms of performance, it's great. In terms of, is it premium for the price? Performance-wise, yes, but material-wise, no. But damn, they're pretty. I fucking love these, bro. Now, like I was saying before, the shoe itself features some D-Lo or D'Angelo Russell branding, so you'll see that right there on the tongue. You'll actually see it on the lace dubray at the bottom of the laces. And then on the back, we've got whatever this is, this design. I don't know if this is personal to D'Angelo Russell or not, but it's definitely different than what's on the other Wade shoe that I played in. So there you go. Now, before I forget, this is the insole. This is probably actually my least favorite thing about this shoe. It just takes a really long time for me to break it in. Some people might find that to be a good thing. The material is nice. It's just that it doesn't compress enough in the areas in the toe. And I personally prefer when that happens quickly, because then you get less chafing and stuff like that. Now, as far as the support features on the shoe go, that's one of the most interesting portions of the shoe, because they are so lightweight and so nimble feeling that they don't feel like they actually have a lot of support features in there, but they do. Inside is kind of like an infinity looking style plate, so there's like big gaps in the toe and in the heel, but basically that makes the forefoot very flexible, but also have a slight snappiness to it when you're in motion or within your stride, but still takes care of all of the torsional rigidity that the shoe will need while you're playing in it, so you don't over twist your foot while it's inside the shoe. Obviously, the lateral rubber wrap does help with that too. And then in the back, this is the weirdest thing for me, is that these little carbon fiber pieces on the heels are actual carbon fiber. I questioned that in my initial review. I was just like, are these, like, I've never felt carbon fiber that is gummy like this. And basically it's just not resin coated. So it's coated in something. It's just not coated in the stuff that makes it super strong and rigid, but it makes it still very, I would say, flexible. It's very strange. It keeps the portion of the cushion kind of like encased or reined in, so it's not like too like explosive feeling and stuff, but it still allows it to do its thing. I still think that the heel counter could be a little bit like beefed up. What I mean by that is that it goes up like a little bit higher, so it sits pretty low in the shoe, so sometimes on really harsh movements I could just feel my heel kind of like move inside there. So that's the only thing, is that if that kind of like was just a little bit beefier, just a little bit more substantial, covered a little bit more ground, if you will, then I think that it would be perfect. Now, in terms of sizing, I went true to size. That's exactly what I would recommend. If you're a wide footer, you may want to consider going up half a size. They do start out pretty narrow. I had to completely unlace these and relace them, because even for me, I was like, oof, a little bit tight at first, but once I broke them in, man, they're so fun. And with that being said, do we happen, because I know I rambled a little bit, I'm sorry, but do we happen to have time for a question of the day?
I love that you both say anyways. I do too. And I get comments all the time saying anyways is not a word. Anyways, do you get the same comment?
No, and if I did, I won't give a because I don't care what people say.
I had to Google it. I didn't realize that it wasn't a word.
Anyways is really not a real word?
No, if you're
so
going
any
to...
and ways is like two different words combined that don't make any sense?
You're supposed to say anyway without the S.
Oh, well, I'm from the Bay, so we don't do that.
And so that was my thing going into it, was one, I didn't know that it wasn't a word. And
so if I say anyway, then that's cool, but if I say anyways, then that's not cool.
Especially if you're doing it in writing. That is,
I don't write
according to Google, that's the correct and proper way to do it.
Okay.
But I don't know, I've never been into, probably because I know how stupid it sounds coming out of me.
What?
Using cooler lingo. And
like
so,
what?
Like anything. And so anything that I do say usually is
From
because
your
I
youth?
am, no, usually because like say I'm mocking our kids or something, like, oh, this is the word you're using. And then it has just subtly become a part of what I say non-intentionally.
Well, not like, I'm just not like the kind of person that like when we're in a conversation and you say something and I'll be like, huh? You know what I mean? I'll probably think it, but do I say it? No. You know, 'cause I'm not a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just let you do whatever you want to do.
Anyways, wrap it up because there's only a couple of minutes left on this anyways.
So you just said anyways in context. That's not real?
That was me saying it in context and also bringing
No,
it full
I
circle.
understand, like, when you go to end a sentence, you say anyways, like, and that's to proceed to the next thing.
Yeah.
But you just said that camera, blah, 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 anyways. So that's not a real way to say anyways, ever? You can never say anyways.
Yeah, it's supposed to be anyway.
So we just add S's for no reason?
Anyways.
Really? That's what we do?
You can pry that word out of my cold, dead hands.
Where did we learn that?
I don't know. Maybe it is a Bay Area thing.
Is
or
it
a
really?
California thing. I don't know.
I mean, we do have weird... That's strange. With that being said, though, sound off below. Let us know, do you have any random words that you say, whether it be because of where you're from or who raised you, that other people try to put you over? You know what I mean? Like, what a dick move. And on top of all of that, I really want to know, like, how these stack up to other shoes that you played in this year. I swear these might be one of the best ones. I think that they're so good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. We'll catch y'all in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one. So, yeah.
I got you, boo.
Anyways.